Welcome all Dota players, League players, Pokemon Unite players to a new edition of Inside the PFL. This is your host Drac, joined by a previous host of this show, Jim.
Hello. Hello, all you people.
Hello, Jim. We had some scheduling conflicts with Mike and Vic, so I've got Jim on as a guest, and we will be having another guest later on. And with that, I say let's get started. So the first match we have is Murphy against M1. I'm going to give that a play.
Yeah. I remember this game being great. I remember the entire way through. I think it was 40 turns, but it was very close as well.
Yeah, I remember this game being very good as well. And for those of you who don't know, which I don't think there is anybody who doesn't know, but there was a wager on the line for this match. So Murphy wanted Melodic from M1. And M1 said, all right, but you got to put up Togekiss. And they shook on it, and then they played the match.
That might be what made this game have the most stakes of any this season so far. This was probably because of that bet, the game I was most excited to see.
Oh, absolutely. You love to see stuff on the line like that.
And Drac, tell me about Appleton.
Oh, I love Appleton. He's so good. So we're going to see Appleton do the Appleton thing this game, where he spams Apple Acid, lowers your special defense, and then has Recover and Leash Seed and never dies. And then he has Thick Fat.
I mean, see, at that point we were wondering if Mr. Rhyme could even do it with an Ice Beam.
Yeah, it would be close. I remember
it would be pretty close, I think, which is kind of insane.
It would be. And we see the +1 speed from Rapid Spin, then D-Gleam just takes care of that. So that's great.
And the rocks on the other side breaking the sash on Excadrill, that's big.
Yeah, that's something I didn't call attention to. Excadrill just slammed rocks in the face of Lando turn 1, so that has to be a sash.
Yeah. It was the most OU turn 1 of this week, actually, was the rocks.
Oh, absolutely. And one had a little bit of a mispredict there with potentially Lapras coming in on the Toxic.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't expect Murphy to just stay in with Excadrill.
Yeah, there's a moment here. I think it's coming up. M1, I believe, clicks Flip Turn and forgets about the Water Absorb.
I think so. Or maybe he was predicting potentially a double out because to not get Toxic.
It might be one of those things that if obviously you don't switch out when Flip Turn Water absorbs the move entirely. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah, that was maybe a little bit of misplay, but I love what we see with Grapploct here, just slamming Circle Throw when Togekiss comes in. That's good.
I think we were also waiting for this thing to click. Yeah, right there. Ice Punch does so much damage.
Oh yeah, that was a crit too.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised how much Ice Punch did even with the crit and Thick Fat.
Yeah, and at this point, Appleton's just able to wall this thing.
Oh, absolutely. I do like the Ice Punch trying to secure the kill on Appleton, but at the same time, I think with the amount of Toxic Chip and you're seeded, you kind of got to just predict that he's got Protect.
Yeah.
So maybe not an optimal play there, but probably not something that really costs the game.
Yeah, I agree. Grapploct, the Circle Throw plays are obviously really cool, but if you don't have any rocks up, it mostly just puts you into a bad situation.
Right. Although, on Murphy's side, I don't see what really switches into Grapploct if he's just going to spam Circle Throw. It's really only Togekiss.
Yeah,
because he gets...
Chandelure could absorb one, maybe, but
then Grapploct gets Sucker Punch.
Yeah, you don't want to stay in versus the Sucker Punch.
Yeah, so I
do
really
see
like
Chandelure this game?
We do. Chandelure kind of cleans up at the end, if I remember correctly.
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is just a bad matchup for my low tick here. Lapras is actually putting in a ton of work this game.
Yeah, and it's kind of insane that Murphy wanted Melodic, considering how well Lapras does in this match.
Yeah.
So we see another double. And yeah, so every time, Lapras is just so fat that it's eating these freeze dries from Mr. Rhyme. And with the rest, it's just going to sit there forever and Toxic stall you to death.
Yeah. Only 19%. Yeah, and after the rest too, that's killer.
Good time to get Tapu Bulu in, for sure.
Oh yeah, especially considering I don't even think we saw the fourth move on this Lapras. I think we only saw 3 moves.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's like we didn't see Sleep Talk at any point. Like I think he just had rest. I don't think he was running Sleep Talk. So he was just gonna take a Wood Hammer if he didn't switch out.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't hit the ice move or whatever against Bulu.
I do like Bulu hitting close combat there in case there's no way Lapras to stay in first of all, but just in case Appleton comes in. But it was Togekiss. And I think coming up we're gonna see a turning point in the match.
The regular fly there to me is interesting.
Yeah, I'm not
like who was he aiming for before Excadrill? Or no, he clicked fly when Excadrill was out, so I don't know if he was just trying to like avoid a move or something like that.
Yeah, potentially. Or just scouting what Murphy's going to do next because something's going to eat the fly, you know?
Yeah.
And like Excadrill being the best switch in is not great. This crit super duper mattered.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way an Ironhead at -1 is going to be doing doing 35 to a bulky sort of utility Lando.
Yeah, that's facts. So it's actually really unlucky. I see the high horsepower because no earthquake in grassy terrain.
Right.
Like, I like that idea.
I love that tech. And oh man, the missed rock slide.
That's terrible too. Actually, you know what? M1 kind of got hacks this game.
It's yeah. When I was watching it live, it didn't feel this hacksy, but seeing those 2 turns in a row, that super duper kind of clinched the game
back
for Murphy.
To back. That definitely was a lot. You're right, because you don't notice it the first time around. Then you go back and you're like, oh wait, like
so much could have happened differently.
Super mattered.
And right, M1 is kind of just out of Chandelure checks at this point. Melodic is low, I believe.
Yeah. 43 and Toxic. Oh my god, and the Fire Blast too. Like at that point, you don't really have an option though. You know what I mean? Everything's slower than Chandelure. Milotic is basically dead. Rhyme's dead and Bulu's dead. So
right,
Lapras you really just don't have an option here.
Lapras just walls the crap out of these last 2 Mons.
Yep.
Missing a Toxic.
I'm sure that was just like I know you're going to be sleeping and I can't touch you. Like.
Yeah, there's really not much to do at this point. M1 kind of throws in the towel, but also there's nothing else he could have done. So, like, would he be spamming flip turn or
exactly like just like healing the thing? Like probably not. Yeah, but this is a +3 for Murphy, right?
Right, this is a +3 for Murphy. This is how the rest of the game goes. Lapras is just going to hit the buttons.
Yeah, that's huge. You like to see it. You like to see a lower tier Pokemon kind of be the backbone of a team.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially since Ice type kind of makes the bulky water type theme kind of worse because Ice gives a lot of weaknesses and also sort of removes one of the resists in Steel. So it is good to see these low tier Mons put in work.
For sure. I think M1 used Mr. Rhyme really well. Well.
I do too.
He got a rapid spin off. He got some decent licks in.
Yeah, Mr. Rhyme did great. The boots spin and then into the Deagleam on Scrafty. That was great tech. But unfortunately, the game did not turn out his way.
Yes. But kudos to Murphy. Honestly, game well played. Like, you utilized the walls really well, like Appleton and Lapras and pivoting between them.
Right. Despite the hacks, I think Murphy still played very well. And honestly, M1 played really well too.
Yeah, I think it was a great game from both players.
And with that, let us go over to our second match. Tristan against Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give this an old play.
Right.
So, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to be too harsh on Mike, but he seemed a little lost this game.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, when something like this happens, though...
It is hard to not get tilted. I will agree with that.
Because, like, Golurk might have been a check for, like, a few Pokemon down the line, but, forgetting that Heracross gets the Skilling Bullet Seed, like, you're just gonna die. Like, even if you were sashed, like, it didn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing Tristan's lineup of Toxicity, Turt, potentially even Zagard. I think Gola could have put in some work there.
Tristan's team is like the definition of bulky offense.
Oh, yeah. Even though he's going second, he's still hitting hard a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Although we do see...
How much this pin missile does is ridiculous.
It is. Like, Registeel is the quintessential bulky steel type.
It literally did 30%, and that scares me, actually.
Yeah, Mega Heracross, you cannot sleep on him.
No, definitely not. And, like, usually when we talk Mega Heracross, like, we might think, like, Trick Room or something, but Tristan utilizes it really well, even with the lowered speed. Like, that's really all you bring Heracross to do, is just to blow stuff up.
Right. If you speed creep him for, your opponent's fastest tank, and then you're just like, hey, somebody switch into this, whatever move I'm going to hit. That is super duper a good strat. And yeah, Mike tried to get Heracross out of his face, but Tristan just had Suicune in the back pocket.
I like seeing Lapras kind of work here.
Suicune?
No, like Lapras or Luxray, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Luxray did, like, at the end of this game, I feel like it kind of put in the work. The agility, I got a little hype. I was like, okay, like maybe he can do it with a nice Fang with Guts, like.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked the Guts play rough didn't kill, but I believe Zagard's defense is 120.
Yeah, he's huge. I think you're right. I think it's like 120 or 121 or something.
Yeah, very hard to OHKO him with a physical move. And then Glastrier is just huge. Enormous.
Yeah, 14 on that.
Oh, on the stab U-turn. That's just so insane. And I think at this point, Mike almost doesn't have an answer for Suicune. It's pretty much just Meganium, but then every time Meganium comes in, Heracross comes in and just hits any button.
Yep. It's the same thing. It's a rest, bulky water type that just seals the game. If we learned that game 1, we've certainly learned that here in game 2 of the night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The bulky waters have been putting in a lot of work this week.
Yeah.
And oh man, the shift gear on top of that.
Yeah, I like the all physical set Tristan has going here actually. Like the T-Punch as well. Like usually you would probably see Overdrive, but I really like seeing the T-Punch.
Yeah, because Overdrive is the special move, and then since he's got shift gear, why not take that 1.5x attack boost?
Does he get Wild Charge actually?
He
or
might.
Is that for like guaranteed accuracy and also like the para chance?
It might be that. Is Thunder Punch the one that has both the para and the flinch chance, or is that Thunder Fang?
That's the Fangs.
Okay. My God, Suicune is so big.
Yeah.
That high jump kick just did 40. But yeah, very well played to Tristan.
And if you're Mike, honestly, toward the end of the battle, you accomplished it anyway. Like you didn't get 6-0'd, so you at least made him bleed.
Right. I believe Meganium got the last kill with Leech Seed.
I think so. I think you're right.
But yeah, very well played to Tristan. And I believe that wraps it up.
Yeah. Yeah, Tristan's team, huge. Super, super bulky, hard hitting. Like.
Yeah, it is almost impossible to one-shot any of these mons. On to the next battle, Bick and Dylan.
Oh yes, this was also a great game.
Lots of really good games this week.
I like seeing the mixed Aegislash. I think he's running like a Shadow Sneak and Shadow Ball.
Yes, we do.
He's got I don't even think he has King Shield, or he might have King Shield, but he never clicks it. I don't think.
We'll see. I remember him having both Sneak and Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
I love Rotom putting in all the work. Turn 1, burning Swampert. You love to see that. Getting rid of the hazards.
We were saying on the broadcast, like the first 3 turns, it did the 3 out of 4 things that Rotom does. It defogs, it Hydro Pumps, and Willows.
Right, and that is...
It gets a crit. Like, the first 3 turns were the most Rotom Wash turns of all time.
Absolutely, you love to see it. Rotom
this thing exists.
Is so good. And Bix is just like, get this man out of my face.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that the rest of the game.
And that was a good use of the Z move, because honestly, what is switching in, right?
I mean, Aegislash maybe, but then you just take an Earthquake. So.
Exactly. And then you're playing the shell game of switching between Aegislash and Rotom, and everybody's getting chipped, and it's so I think that was the right decision. Just let Rotom go.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Rotom even believed he lived and was hitting Willow.
Yeah, I like seeing a little bit of work from Volcarona here, actually. Like, at one point, he actually gets the Fiery Dance off. And it's good to see Volcarona, like, actually do work and not just die to rocks. Also, Dylan is playing about a turn ahead of Bick.
Yeah, that is something.
Last couple turns.
That is something I noticed as well watching this match. Dylan had all of the right reads. It felt like all game, and that's not to take anything away from Bick. He's obviously a strong battler, but
of course,
Dylan just played out of his mind.
Yeah, it was just the pace of the game just felt like it was in Dylan's favor.
And the rapid spin with the last hazard center gone. Man, I commented this on the broadcast. Dylan makes Hitmonchan look like the best fighting type in the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. This AV Hitmonchan that runs Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Rapid Spin every week and just never dies. It's kind of insane.
Hitmonchan, yeah. Yeah, he does. He utilizes Hitmonchan really, really well. Which you love to see. You love to see people have, like, mons that they're good at using.
Right. I loved using Audino, and that at the time was a tier 5 mon last season. Yeah. And it was just great at walling people. So you love to see these low tiers put in work. Yeah. Especially in the face of somebody who drafted 3 200-point mons. And we do see Volcarona go down here. I still think that's the right play from Dylan. You get off a Fire Dance even if you maybe thought that it wasn't going to Oko.
Yeah.
And now Celesteal is just low and it can be cleaned up.
And you're able to pick it off.
Right, because Celesteal is just so notoriously one of those get in the way kind of mons. It's going to spam Leech Seed on everything. It's going to have leftovers and protect, and it's never going to die. And if it gets a kill, God forbid, it's getting a Beast Boost and it is even tankier.
Exactly. Especially depending on whatever set it's running too. Like, it might be Weakness Bossy, it might be Autonomize. Like, there's a lot of different ways that Celesteal can just go off on you. So you're just glad to get that damage off on it.
Absolutely. And especially in a situation where nobody could switch into that
35% from the Fire Blast.
That is so insane.
It goes, and this is 25 to Gallade. Like, honestly, you're kind of the MVP of the battle on Dylan's side here.
It sure feels like it. And then,
I like Special Swampert that Bick had. I like the Earth Power set on it.
I do too, because Swampert does get some special coverage. I believe it gets Sludge Wave, and then if you're the special set, you can also run Scald for that extra bit of utility.
Exactly.
And you don't really care about the physical hit for a flip turn.
Yeah, you'd rather have the burn chance, of course.
Right. And so we see Hitmonchan put out his last shot with that Mach Punch and puts everybody in cleanup range, essentially, for Dylan's last 2 sweepers with Glalie and Tyrantrum.
Yeah, very fast-paced game.
Yeah, lots of people just hitting each other over and over again, and you love to see it.
Yeah, but it wasn't even close.
And Scarf Tyrantrum just does it. Very well played from Dylan. Congratulations. A little bit of confusion there on the last turn.
Definitely. I think both players they played great. I like the sets. I like the ingenuity in certain spots.
Oh yeah. We see a bit in the chat. Sometime earlier when Bick was calcing that Celesteal against
the double edge, right? Yeah.
Turn. Right. Bick was calcing, I guess, return instead of double edge.
Oh, okay.
And he thought Glalie was adamant because of that.
Oh, so it's just the base power difference then?
Yeah. Okay, return gets up to 104, I believe. And double edge gets up to 120.
Yeah, I think it's 102.
Okay. And hey, that base power, that matters, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference between, a 2-tap and a 3-tap a lot of the time. So, even though you have the recoil, sometimes it's just worth it.
For sure. I mean, that's what you have Glalie there to do, is just to hit hard with refrigerate moves.
Absolutely. I would have loved to see a refrigerate explosion.
Yeah, honestly, I would wonder how much that would do to Stila.
That would be interesting because that's like 250 base power.
Yeah.
Regardless, congratulations to Dylan again. We'll be moving
game.
on to the next match. That is Thomas against Manny.
Oh, yeah.
So the theme of this game sort of seems like Manny was just prepared for every set that Thomas had. It felt like.
Yeah, just honestly from right here, like he switches in and now it's like, oh no, like Tyranitar kind of stops all of Leipard's shenanigans.
Right, and the sand chip on top of that so that Leipard's not even sashed anymore.
Exactly. Like it gets it out of the way early and it just helps with Manny's momentum.
I cannot believe the Seed Flare did 43.
It did 43?
Oh god, the Sand AV is so strong.
Yeah. I mean, you can't stay in though. Now
you can't stay in,
gotta go.
But you got the Sap Sipper in the back pocket.
Oh, this was actually an awesome moment, actually. The theme has been just lower tier mons just popping off. And I love seeing Bouffalant take no damage.
What's Shaman doing?
Yeah.
That might have been like the turn for maybe Gyarados to come in and Tim, but who knows? It's kind of a tough spot.
So yeah, because he might be carrying the Wild Charge as well.
Yeah, very true.
Like he definitely has a coverage move for Gyarados if it's Wild Charge, if it's like Stone Edge or Rock Slide or something.
Absolutely. So Berserker is Life Orbed, and I don't know how I feel about that running Fake Out.
I mean, just a little bit of extra damage. I mean,
it is extra damage.
Like T-Tar and Corviknight, like it's not going to do anything though. So I get where you're coming from.
Right. It's just kind of free chip on yourself. It's sort of also the reason I don't like running the Life Orb on Pivot Mons.
Yeah.
I love the Retaliate. 140 base power stab.
Oh, for sure.
Get out of here.
I mean, is Head Charge, is that like 120? Is it Double Edge? Or is it stronger than Double Edge?
It is the same as Double Edge, but less recoil, I believe.
Okay.
The normal fly is so funny. Or bounce.
Yeah.
Bounce.
And it misses, which is like, it kind of stinks. If you're Thomas, you're not so happy about that. You could have gotten the Parachance, like, you would have had more chip on Altaria for the rest of the game.
For sure. And
I don't think this even does it, right?
No, Altaria is actually
massive.
huge.
If you got that bounce chip damage, that's exactly when you're like, I wish I had hit that bounce.
Exactly. That definitely would have secured the kill on Altaria. I'm not sure how much it would have changed the course of the game, because we see just Altaria hard out there anyway.
I mean, you know, he would have the DD up at least.
Right, and we didn't see Intimidate, right?
Was he Moxie or was he...
He was Moxie, because we would have seen the Intimidate.
Oh, yeah. So then he would have been a +2 for whatever came in.
Yeah, that's true. That might have made a difference.
I love Kyle, the Slowking here. Although, this is a sad moment. I don't like looking at this. I don't like looking at Corviknight wall G-Slowking. This happens for like 15 more turns or something like that.
I'll up the speed for this a little bit because, yeah, Corviknight essentially just takes it home from here.
Yeah.
With the light screen, there's no way Slowking is breaking it.
Yeah, and he can try for like a burn maybe, but that's not even going to help that much.
Yeah, not really. Because you're still just slamming Iron Heads all the same.
Yeah.
And I believe Thomas realizes that he's sort of checkmated here and just resigns himself to his fate. Because we see he's not even switching out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you get outsped if you're Berserker. Audino, you're going to get, like, body pressed or something. Like.
Well, it's a Mega Audino, too, so that Iron Head.
Oh, Iron Head. Exactly. Yeah, this thing just kind of brings the game home.
And Corviknight proving its worth.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we were just talking about Celesteela the last game. Like, all the steel flying types, ridiculous.
They are all ridiculous.
So good in their own way.
I love it. I think when Corviknight originally came out, we thought he was just worse Skarmory because he didn't get all the hazards. But I kind of think that Corviknight's better Skarmory.
I think he's more versatile because he's more like offensive. Like he can do different kinds of offensive things that Skarmory can't.
Right.
Like Strongway's not like a setup sweeper. Like Corviknight can be just like, bulk up, body press, roost, like insanely unkillable.
Right. Especially if you have a light screen as the 4th move.
Yeah, if you have light play screens too, it's over.
Something I wanted to point out, the Audino was named Jim instead of Mega Jim, so that was probably the reason Thomas lost.
There's a lot of my name in the league now.
Just the Audinos, I think.
I think somebody I think Nigeria might have named the Manaphy Jim as well.
Oh.
I remember seeing the 3rd one somewhere. I don't remember who it was though.
One of these days we'll just nickname everybody Jim.
But kudos to Manny though. I mean, really, really well played. Corviknight obviously bringing it home.
Yeah, Manny had his number basically the whole game. Felt like he knew all the sets Thomas was going to bring. He was prepared for everything. Let us move over to my match against James. That one is up next.
Finally seeing Blacephalon do things was good for me. Because I like when Blacephalon like succeeds,
When I decided to lead Nidoqueen, I was like, please don't lead Barbaracle and make me hit Earth Power turn 1, because I would love to get rocks up against this team. And of course, James led Barbaracle. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah, and of course
we'll
he's
just kill each other.
Too.
Right.
Like he's not white or Shell Smash, like being sashed really was like kind of a problem. Losing Nidoqueen that early meant that you weren't going to get rocks up this game, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I was hoping he was going to just like lead Rotom or something.
Yeah.
But that's not the world we lived in.
I like the Boltund. What kind of spread was this?
It was a Scarf Boltund. It was, and Jim, I guess he is a Jim, but James called it out correctly that Scarf Boltund was faster than Barbaracle.
Okay, and G Zapdos and Scarf G Zapdos
and Scarf G Zapdos, yep, and potentially a Scarf Kartana.
Definitely. Did you have Fire Fang?
I did have Fire Fang, yep.
That's hype.
So yeah, Scarf Boltund was there to sort of like revenge kill the sweepers, and I was pretty happy to not see Runerigus on the other side because that meant he can just Volt Switch for free almost all game.
Yeah, on Mega Metacham honestly other Pokemon too.
Right. And as James points out in a second, Mandibuzz' speed crept for Rampardos as well.
Yeah.
I actually, this is another reason why having rocks out would have been great, because that foul play would have killed. But
that's still coming off base, like 165 attack or whatever.
Right.
Rampardos has. That hit really, really hard.
When I was doing calcs, I remembered that if he was adamant, it would have killed, but not adamant, it wasn't going to kill.
Okay, so he was positive speed,
right?
Big Jolly.
And I also sort of knew that his really only answer to Blacephalon was Grimmsnarl with Sucker Punch or T-Wave, so I felt pretty comfortable making that read. I was still nervous he might hit T-Wave, but I was I have to hit Substitute here.
Just being behind the sub gives you a free turn to kill something.
Right.
Like it's so powerful in this sense when you're not status. There's no hazards up. Like you're free to just click moves, which is really powerful spot. And Blacephalon finishes this game off, right?
Yeah, Blacephalon just clicks Flamethrower a bunch.
Yeah. I thought that actually was gonna kill. I was positive on the broadcast that was gonna kill you.
So the spread for Blacephalon.
Some HP investment.
Yeah. It's almost full HP investment because it was that I made it so that a Z Fire would kill a full HP Grimmsnarl. That was that was how much I put into special attack, and then the rest was just an HP and speed.
Type.
Yeah.
It's a fire type sweep. We're gonna see another one of those fire type sweeps later.
Coming up in a little bit, we sure will.
But yeah, kudos to you. You played your win con, you got that sub up, and then it was just.
I was so hyped when I got the sub up. I think I banged my fist on the disc like yes.
Yeah, that's checkmate.
But still, good stuff to James. I know he's a great battler, and I did my homework real hard to prep against him.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, the Blacephalon at the beginning, or not the Blacephalon, the Barbaracle at the beginning of the game.
That could have been a real issue.
Put you in a really not great spot as well.
Yeah, very true.
Not getting rocks up, Nidoqueen immediately being dead. Not a lot of I mean, you had Mandibuzz, but not a lot of like other defense to kind of rely on.
Right. I had Prim there as well. Prim was a defensive spread. It was mainly for a Grimmsnarl check. But yeah, that
we didn't even see Prim hit the field, right?
No, Prim did not even hit the field.
Okay.
It was a pretty quick match, 16 turns.
Yeah.
So our next battle, we have a special guest, the owner of the thumbnail spot this week and heat of the week, Dave.
Yo.
How's it going, Dave?
It's going well, man. Having a good night. How about you guys?
I'm having a great night. I'm about to have an even greater night when I see this Incineroar go off again.
Yeah, man. This was a legendary moment, honestly.
This is honestly, I love this moment more than when James got the power trip sweep with Incineroar that one time back when we had Baton Pass legal.
Dude, that's like really like what happened. Like I knew, so I've been wanting to draft Incineroar for like a couple seasons now, and I knew James had him. Did some shenanigans with it. But yeah, so I talked to him, man. I give him like full credit for the moveset and stuff like that, and giving me the idea for weakness policy. Yeah. And basically all I did was just like set the speed to make sure that once I got like one flame charge up, I was going to be quicker than Zoroark. And
were you quicker than Zoroark after the +1?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
same with Venusaur too.
Uh-oh, I believe we lost him.
Oh, there he is. Okay,
he's
good.
back.
Yeah. I don't. What was the last thing you heard?
We were talking about Zoroark.
Yeah, you're talking. Jim asked if you were going to be faster than Zoroark, and then you were in the middle of a sentence and you cut out.
Oh yeah. So
let me get this
I just
started again.
I think I put like two. I think the sweet spot was 205 or 204. I invested, and then he had to be jolly. And after like one flame charge, he was going to be quicker than Zoroark and Mega Venusaur.
Yeah.
Right.
What was the full spread? Like, what were the 4 moves?
I had. Dude, I was so like hung up on like whether or not, because dude, I was like freaking out about P2 and Mega Venusaur. So I was like really hung up on like whether or not to bring Darkest Lariat or Knockoff. And I'm really fucking happy that, that I got Darkest Lariat.
This is an adult channel.
Drain Punch, Darkest Lariat. Man, what were the other ones?
Flame Charge?
Flame Charge, yeah. And Acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's sick.
The weakness policy. That's
for
Venusaur? Yeah, that's actually awesome.
That is so sick. I love that.
I wanted to get it was super spicy, dude, and I'm surprised that it worked out the way it did, honestly. And I give James a lot of credit for giving me the moveset and the idea.
Yeah, Incineroar is such a crazy mon. I loved using him when I had him. He can take you by surprise. He has like a lot of high base power stab moves. And
yeah,
he's at that speed tier where even after one flame charge, he's faster than so many things.
Well, he's bulky too, man, and and the Intimidate is just amazing. You know, I have a soft spot for all Intimidate mons, so that's why I have Grand Bull also.
Yeah, you have 2 Intimidate mons, man.
Yeah.
So we see P2 actually has Trace. He traces the Intimidate.
Surprised. Exactly. Yeah, I thought he was going to do that earlier and maybe toxic me down also, because I think that might have changed some things. But yeah, he was just on the back foot most of the match though. Right. So that's what can you do?
Being able to lower your attack potentially against like Cloyster, Klefki or something could have been
exactly, man.
Important.
Right. And Klefki didn't even have Reflect. Interestingly.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
We didn't mention it when it happened, but he tried to defog away the rocks for presumably a Sash Cloyster, but because it lowers your evasiveness, it's not going to affect the dark type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me just as much as anyone else too, because I always forget about the prankster, because it wasn't always like that too.
No.
I forget what gen they changed that, but
I think it's a Gen 7 thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All the time I've been playing competitive Pokemon in this league, it's always worked that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Gen 7, but regardless, I mean, that's a Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. We were going over the leaderboard, and that's a +6. That's 2 +6s for you on the season, right?
Yeah, I think that's 3 for me, like overall as well.
Wow, that's great.
The +12 is insane.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Like I mean, yeah, I was like not feeling good about this match. That's like why I reached out to James to help me out a little bit, and because Leibo's team is just fucking spooky, man. Like, so so I'm really surprised I pulled it off. So.
Well, very well prepped and very, very well battled.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have any closing thoughts you want to share with everybody before you sign out?
Not much, man. I like, just that, freaking Mitch is like killing it. It's like, I feel like really good after getting like 2 +6s, and then I look at the
standings.
What am I trying to say? Yeah, the standings, and he's still up top, man. So
yeah, Mitch has a heck of a team this season. Man.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be crazy going forward.
Yeah, man, it's very interesting, man. So, but yeah, hell yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Well, that's all we can ask for in the Pokemon Fun League.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dave. And best of luck to the rest of the season.
Dude, it was a pleasure to be on, man.
Yep, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Yeah, later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So let's get over to the next battle.
Jack
against Hunter. Gonna click play.
I look at Jack's team, and I think of these Pokemon as just associated with Jack for some reason. Like I see the Rotom, I see the Alolan Muck, the Flygon. I just think, yeah, this is a Jack team.
They do exude a sort of a Jack aura where they are not kind of confined to a single role. Yeah. Maybe other than like Audino or Amok, you kind of know what you're getting into with them. But they're all versatile mons. They can all be problems if you don't deal with them right, or if they're a specific set.
Yeah, for sure. And we see that like later this game, we find Audino to be near unkillable.
As it should be. Audino needs respect.
Still you're talking about points. Audino earlier. That was a crit scald and it burned, but it still doesn't even matter.
No, Audino.
Now it's like, oh shit, I can't toxic this thing. Like now I can't toxic chip it, so now I can just sit here forever.
Right. And
like, it's almost a good thing that it ate the burn.
It absolutely is. You love to see an Audino chipped or some bulky wish passing type of mon.
I thought that this shit was risky, because like Morpeko could get a crit at any time.
It is true.
And by the time Audino died, like he could have been, like +3, +4 speed or something crazy.
Right. I think Hunter was maybe just fishing for a crit. I'm not exactly sure what was going on.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen, because all Jack has is knockoff. Like, Morpeko can sit here all day and just Aura Wheel.
How many Aura Wheels does Morpeko even get? 16, okay.
Yeah, 16.
So he'll run out of Aura Wheels at around the same time as Wish, so...
Yeah, you're kind of free to just spam it, if you want to, of course.
And Hunter tries a few times to make a read into Rampardos with the Seed Bomb. But Jack is just content to kind of just sit here.
Yeah, and with the leftovers, he just keeps getting more and more back, too.
It completely negates the burn damage. And I think coming up, we're about to see Jack finally switch into somebody else to take this Fat Wish. Not this turn, I guess it's next turn.
Well, you're right. I mean, Audino was at 88%. Like, he's comfortable to let it go and, like, get back up to 100 and switch out.
For sure, especially with Regenerator.
Yeah, because now he knows, like, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm safe. Like, I can do whatever I want. If I switch out now, like, I get the health back anyway.
Right, and now that he knows the dark type Aura Wheel is coming, Muck just takes the resisted hit and is back at full.
Yup. And that's exactly how you want to play your Wish Passer.
And there's nothing that actually is resisting this stab poison move coming up.
Yeah, does it kill Morpeko right here?
It does, yeah. Morpeko is tiny, dude.
Yeah.
Very, very small mouse, but goes fast.
I like Kangaskhan in this game. And like into this matchup against Mega Pinsir, like I kind of like it. This Earthquake doesn't do anything though.
Solid Rock is an insane ability.
Yeah.
And even this Ice Punch doing 18.
Yeah, he tries again with the Ice Punch. That's what kind of is really funny. He's like, oh, let me try my other coverage move.
I think he was trying to read. He was trying to read Flygon or Rodent coming in, I think.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. But I guess if you're Jack, like, you could just sit there. You have no reason to leave on an Earthquake from a Kangaskhan.
Right. Getting that damage on Rock Blast is so good for Jack, because now he can essentially force Vaporeon to just kill off Rhyperior and essentially kill itself in the same turn, because it's at 33%. Like, it's fight or die right here.
Yeah, there's no more options.
It's not going to be healthy enough to take a hit and get another wish back up, especially not when toxic. So I like that a lot from Jack, trading off Rhyperior for Vaporeon like that.
Yeah, I mean, getting the walls out of the way early, obviously that's like, sometimes it's the key.
Right. Gunk Shot hitting a Poison.
Crazy.
Poison does so much damage. It always catches me off guard. Like, man, 12% every turn? Like, we all know Toxic is bad.
Yeah, but, I mean, Poison's better, like, off the bat, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that extra turn it takes for Toxic to really get going, sometimes it makes the difference.
For sure.
And then, see, I wonder here if Hunter has a, like, Wish Kangaskhan. Like, I wonder what the rest of Kangaskhan's set was. Or was it just AV or something like that?
Fake Out, EQ, Ice Punch. I don't think we ever see the fourth move on Kangaskhan. Yeah. But Wish would be something super interesting, although it might be a little redundant with Vaporeon.
Yeah. It could be like Double Edge or, you know.
Oh, a strong stab move for sure.
Yeah.
Kangaskhan also gets crazy coverage, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some coverage move like Rock Slide or Stone Edge for Mega Pinsir.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, you could have the Rock Slide.
I like the Protect anticipating the Z move, but he didn't anticipate it was the Z Rain Dance.
This Z move. That was actually crazy. That's some serious like tech from Hunter here.
What's also crazy is Audino like just taking that Thunder in electric terrain on the chin.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Now it's free to just wall tap Okoko. Still out turns of rain. Like that's kind of a big deal.
Yep, get the terrain gone, get the rain gone.
Because now Tornadus can't sit here and Hurricane and U-turn whatever.
Right. Does Hunter go for another read here with a Dazzling Beam? Yeah, okay. Another read trying to call Flygon coming in. But then, then the AV Muck. Getting Wish back up twice in one game.
Oh, the para, right? Yeah, he gets parried, and then I think he gets fully parried. That's not a good feeling.
No. Well, Thunder is 30% to para, but still, you never love to see it. So this play coming up I like from Jack.
Nothing.
Fishing for a Moxie boost before Mega-ing.
Yeah, definitely.
That would have been sick if that had worked.
And then just the quick attack. Oh, right. I forgot. And then the Tailwind. That like sort of matters. I think Pinsir doesn't do it here, but maybe the very end of the game.
And that's a great turn for Tailwind, because Tailwind only lasts 4 turns, but it gets a turn deducted the turn you use it. So ideally, you want your guy to die. Yeah,
so you can get another like turn out of it.
Right.
It always surprises me how few turns Tailwind feels like, because it is.
Oh, the missed Gunk Shot.
Yeah, that stinks
after being
too.
Parried.
But I mean, the Tailwind's gone, so now you're back to being faster.
And Jack is just kind of biding his time, waiting to get Scarf Flygon in clean, because we haven't seen Flygon hit the field at all.
Yeah.
And now it's time. Sacking the Kangaskhan makes sense.
Recognizing Flygon as like the late game win con, like really good stuff.
Right. Unfortunately, a non-stab D-Gleam from Zam isn't quite going to cut it. Ooh.
Yeah, 666, that's pretty decent, but it doesn't matter.
I think Flygon is 80 in both defenses, so it's bulky enough.
Yeah. And you gotta save Flygon for Coco, so you gotta kill something else.
Of course.
And then you're not just gonna let Flygon go down to not deal with Coco.
Right. When you see Tapu Koko, Alakazam and Torn on the other side of the field, you're like, how am I going to go faster than them?
Yeah. And you just say, oh, I'm going to quick attack with Pinsir.
Well, he had to choose somebody to sack there, and I guess Pinsir was already on the field.
Yeah. But good stuff to Jack.
Very good stuff.
A +4 is pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the Morpeko from Hunter. I think the Z Rain Dance, obviously the highlight of the battle.
Oh, Z Rain Dance was so great, because that honestly, if Autono wasn't specially defensive, that could have been a real problem.
Yeah, and it came up clutch too, because it paralyzed Muck.
For sure.
It worked out for him, but not enough as Jack gets a +4.
The next battle we have up is Dan against my co-host Jim.
Yes.
So I watched your video on this, and I really like the battle prep part of your videos. That's my favorite part of the videos, more so than the battling. Just because it sort of goes through the same steps that I do as well when I'm thinking of making a team.
Exactly. Like you sort of have an idea, and you're like, oh, okay, like somebody else also might have this idea.
Right.
The builder's my favorite part of Draft League by far. I like building the Pokemon more than I like actually fighting with them.
I like drafting the most because you get to think of all these potential combinations I can have. Exactly. What do I do if someone gets sniped? Stuff like that. So
that first turn, with the trick, I saw Spiritomb. I thought, okay, the worst thing that can happen to me is I get tricked. So I'm just going to go into Noivern just in case that's what he wants to do. And sure enough, he goes for the churn. And I was like, all right, yep. It's going to be one of those games.
I love the turn one trick. It always puts your opponent on the back foot. Honestly, looking at the lineup, I was in a chat with Joe at the time. I said I think Dan is just going to slam Banded Poltergeist the entire game, and you didn't have much of an answer to that. But he tricks at turn one.
Actually, I don't even know if we see Poltergeist at all this game. I think he literally I don't think he clicks an attacking move. I think he just goes Will-O-Wisp and.
That's how I remember it too. He just willows and sort of gets chipped down.
This I knew was going to be a problem. I was so scared of Reuniclus. I was like, okay, if this thing gets a Calm Mind up on me or like an Iron Defense or something like that, like it could really be a problem because it's one of the only things that can answer like Tapu Lele.
Right, like a stored power set or something.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Recover. So I packed the Ghostium Z here.
I love that. I love packing the Ghostium Z just for that. And it's also cathartic to have your answer. You think of an answer in team prep, but there's still that anxiety, like what if it doesn't happen? What if I never even get like these two Mons against each other? And then it happens. Yeah. And like, oh, thank God. That's a great feeling. Yeah, and then you're like some weird set against another different opponent's Pokemon. And you're like, oh, this was useless. Like. But no, I was very happy that worked. I was like, okay, thank God I don't need to deal with Reuniclus the rest of the game. I love the Volt Switch call out with Hippo being forced out.
Yeah, I saw him wait like 10-15 seconds. I was like, okay, I think he's going to switch. Which, honestly, my biggest problem this game, and the reason that I lost, is because I just didn't hit the Hippo. I opted not to Draco Meteor one turn, and I also opted not to just Scald there.
I think
it kind of comes back to bite me at the end of the game.
Yeah, this is sort of a common theme we see in a lot of games is chip super duper matters.
Yeah. This Oricorio was actually insane. With the booties, I was like, oh no, like it's gonna Calm Mind and it's gonna start sweeping me. That's what I was scared of. Because I didn't have Power Gem on Nihiligo.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, I was carrying Grass Knot, Sludge Wave, and Dazzling Gleam.
Okay. I
So I
guess
was kinda scared of
Leibo
it.
sort of has that 4-move syndrome.
Yeah. No burn on the skull there. That was kind of sad. I
That was
like, all right.
kind of an insane switch, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would be switching my sand sweeper into a potential burn like that.
Yeah. But you want to take like the least amount of damage possible, but if he gets burned, then it's not a good thing.
Right. I wouldn't say he's necessarily dead weight
Yeah.
because Vicious Friends going first is still a problem.
This is the moment that I was like, oh shit, like I should have just Draco Meteored. He goes for the Ice Fang. Like I think that the Hippowdon can't I don't think he can kill me. So I'm like, okay, I'll band onto him when he tries to set up rocks. And he just clicks Ice Fang, and I gave him banded Ice Fang, and I was like, holy shit! Like,
Oh man.
I just did not expect him to have the coverage move to hit Noivern. I thought he was either gonna Rocks or Whirlwind, or even Slack Off.
Okay, we do see Spiritomb hit click Sucker Punch.
Yeah, and that does actually like a pretty decent amount to regular Shark.
Right, because you're not
Very,
mega
very
yet.
frail. Yeah. And honestly, I thought Dan was gonna time out right here. I saw 5 seconds left. I thought, oh no, like I really won by timeout. I was just like, I thought it was over.
That's not something you really want to see. Have we ever seen somebody win or lose on timeout?
I feel like we have. I think we have. I think Manny might have done it one time. But overall, I can't remember.
Okay, I do
anything.
remember. I think last season him against Bick, he just let his timer run out when Bick had his like sub Dragapult that Manny had no answer to.
Yeah. I think that's the only time we may have seen one.
I like Lantern being speed crept for Hippowdon because I believe Hippowdon's naturally faster.
It wasn't speed crept.
Oh, it's just naturally faster? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think because we both had no speed and Lantern's naturally faster.
Okay. I thought Lantern was one of those mons that was like base 20.
No, Lantern's
know
like
why.
67 and Hippo's 47, I want to say.
Okay, that's respectable.
This crit revelation dance made me feel sad.
Oh, because then
I
you
was
just died
pretty
to
positive
sand.
at +2 that I could live something from Stoutland because I was going to click Draining Kiss. And I was just going to kind of Draining Kiss away all the health, like negating the chip. But Lele dying there kind of stunk.
Mm-hmm.
And then from here, I was like, okay, I lost the game. I was like, if he plays perfectly, switching between Stoutland and Hippowdon, I can't really do anything.
Not much
and
of an
he
answer.
ends up playing perfectly. He really does.
Yep.
Like, he lets the Sandstorm run out, like, just in time, brings Hippowdon right back in, saves Stoutland. Like, he did everything correctly.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and he won the game because of it.
I don't know if Lele might have lived at +2 because there's a potential retaliate on Stoutland.
I mean, I was
know.
max defense as well.
Oh, okay.
I was +2 and max defense. I was just gonna, try to Draining Kiss.
Oh, I can't do the calcs on the fly, but you took like half from that Revelation Dance, so you might have been at like 25% without the crit? I don't know. It would have been close. It would have been a lot closer without the crit, that's for sure. But yeah, Dan just playing his win con perfectly.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, Stoutland and Hippowdon were the problem the entire game. And they got the best of me.
And what's also a big problem is having two gigantic sand sweepers on the other side. That's always scary.
I felt very prepared for Dracovish. I felt like I didn't prepare enough for Stoutland.
Stoutland is sneaky good.
I forgot about Stomping Tantrum. As soon as you clicked it, I was like, oh, Nihiligo like doesn't want that. Like Lantern doesn't want that either.
Right. I believe he gets all of the Fang moves as well.
Yeah.
And Play Rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I get all the coverage, I think.
Stoutland is a sneaky good Sandmon.
Yeah, and honestly, you know what? At some point in that battle, I thought Dan was going to time out. It's crazy that he like brought that back from 5 seconds. Like playing under that amount of pressure for like 10 turns or 15 turns or whatever.
Right.
Like, that's insane.
I've definitely made mistakes in time pressure as well. Like during a really tough game where you're thinking out every move and then you suddenly see in the corner of your eye the chat window 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
And you're like, oh shit,
click something.
How much have I spent in the calculator? Like, I can't believe I got down this far.
Right. But very well played.
Yeah, kudos.
On to Mitch against Kyle.
This might have been my favorite battle of the week.
I will concur. This is my favorite battle.
It was from the first like 5 turns set the tone of the game.
Right. So I like leading Crook. I love the immediate rocks.
Yep.
Because Kyle's really only answer to rocks is Gligar clicking Defog. Oh, he didn't even click rocks. That's right. He clicked knockoff. Right.
Yeah,
that was such a good read.
Eviolite literally on turn 1 is insane.
Yeah.
Now it's not an answer to Hawlucha or Crocodile. They can just kind of breeze past him.
For sure.
This Cryogonal could not touch this Bisharp.
Oh, no. No way.
It literally, it did not have a move to touch Bisharp. It had to leave every turn. And this is one of those things, too, is that the electric terrain setter is gone. If you're going to use, like, Hawlucha, you got to pop him now.
To that comment, though, Hawlucha is naturally faster than everything on Kyle's team, so it doesn't necessarily need the Unburden boost. We've seen in previous weeks...
Was it Scarf Victini, though?
It was, yeah. Kyle's run Scarf Victini all 3 weeks so far.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of an unfortunate side effect of Victini being as fast as Mon and being only base 100. I think the next fastest is like Lanoon with extreme speed.
There's a couple forms of priority on his team, but you're right. Overall, he just doesn't have a very speedy team.
Right, so he's a little bit locked into having Victini scarfed every week. Otherwise, even a non-unburdened Hawlucha can just do a lot of work. Although, not in this game in particular. We see Kyle handle Hawlucha very well. Oh my god, Specs Draco. I cannot believe that did that much to Toxapex.
Yeah. This was one of those games where I think it made me realize that Duraludon's actually like a good Pokemon. I think I'd always thought Duraludon was kind of underwhelming, but seeing it used to like this effect is pretty cool.
Yeah, mad respect. I was thinking about Duraludon during the draft, but I decided not because having your Steel not resist Fairy is a little unattractive.
Yeah. I mean, but otherwise, you know, Dragon adds a bunch of resistances as well.
For sure. And Steel resists almost everything.
Yeah.
Duraludon has like 4 quad resists, I want to say. Or maybe it's only 3.
I'm trying to think, like grass. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I can't think about
it. I can't think about it right now, but it is a good recognition by Mitch that every time Gligar comes in, Cryogonal just comes in for free to spin away the hazards.
Because there's always the threat of guess who comes in for free? Or actually, was this a read? Oh no, it wasn't. He actually doubles into Victini. I thought he might go into Bisharp at that point. Just wall Cryogonal again.
That would make sense. I think Bisharp's a little chipped. Yeah, Bisharp's at about half.
Okay.
And he would take.
Does he get the rocks up here? I think he does. I think it's huge. Or no, he gets threatened by. Yeah, he does. He goes for the rocks.
That's like, so insane.
Yeah, because I think that Kyle thought he might want to save Crook, but he literally just stares him down, goes for the rocks, and that sets the tone for the rest of the battle. Like, now rocks are pretty much going to be up for good because I don't think Gligar really can get rid of them.
I'm not sure if Mitch even. We'd have to ask him. I don't know if he got the read or if he was just sacrificing Crook.
This was my favorite moment of the battle. Was the eruption. Actually, no. This was not. No.
You mean when he switches into the flash fire?
Typhlosion. Yeah, the flash fire eruption was actually insane.
Right. So, yeah, this is just going to be a never-ending loop of Mitch. Or Kyle has no switch-ins to Draco. Yeah, it misses, to be fair.
Yeah. And that's pretty big when you only have 8 of them.
And
it actually sort of ends up mattering.
It super duper matters because Kyle is taking chip every single time he switches in. He doesn't have boots anywhere. Victini taking 25 from rocks.
Victini getting low is really, really big.
Especially since this is Victini's last stand. And Mitch, on Victini's last stand, Mitch gets the proper read as well, so Victini's just in the dirt at this point.
This is my favorite moment of the battle right here. Is this damage? That made me pop off. I was like, okay, like you can 2-tap it. Are you serious? I thought that was going to be the thumbnailed moment was the Typhlosion
duel of Toxapex. It's never been seen before.
Yeah.
And I think Dagger's about to go down.
Draco.
Oh.
Ooh, the T-Bolt, right?
Okay. Maybe that was insurance for if Bisharp came in and onto a not resisted hit.
Yeah.
I think, a lot of these situations are also sort of 50-50s. Every single time he has Duraludon in against Toxapex, he's thinking about what's coming in next.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no fairy type. Like, nothing can come in for free against Dracos. Everything's going to take some chip.
Right.
Even if Bisharp resists it, like, it's still going to probably die. At 50%.
So. And I don't think Bisharp's special defense is that impressive.
No, it's like, I think it's 65 or maybe 70.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it cannot eat a Draco either. But this is also not where you want to be with Duraludon. But, I mean, if you're Toxapex, you can't even touch this thing.
You know what's so insane? With all of the pivoting that is on Kyle's team, Mitch has 0 U-turns or anything.
You're right. Does Pinkerton get Volt Switch? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either. So Mitch is he has the checks switching hard every single time. And Kyle's constantly on the back foot with the Rocks chip every single turn.
Yeah.
When he gets in Duraludon against Toxapex every single time, that's just somebody eating this free Draco.
Yeah, this was tough because I'm pretty sure was Typhlosion scarfed?
I believe Typhlosion was scarfed.
So yeah, I mean, if you're Mitch, like you have 2 Pokemon that are locked into their moves, and you have to just somehow find your way through, like being only able to click one certain move at a time, or pivot, and your only 2 options.
And facing down an opponent like Kyle, that's no small ask.
Yeah.
To be able to read every single turn and get these correct switches every single time.
I think right there, I wanted him to go for the T-Bolt.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, you're going to 2-tap Pex on the switch. Oh, and then I can't tell if that was a read because Grassy Glide will still probably do it. But he doesn't even go for it. Wait.
I think Grassy Glide would have killed.
Mm-hmm.
Although,
I think so too.
But then if he's locked into Grassy Glide, then Duraludon just cleans up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kyle's just going to spam recover, hopefully be at full, and maybe pull a miracle out when he gets to the inevitable Duraludon against Toxapex.
Yeah, because now you can't do anything. Now you're just risking, T-Bolt paras, crits, like there's a lot of things that could happen.
Right.
And you're losing damage-wise regardless, but that was an insane game.
It was very, very well played by both of them, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I was nervous for Mitch as soon as the, standard Pinkerton Hall Lucha stuff was kind of over.
Right.
By turn 8.
At one point in this match, Mitch was 2 mons down.
Yeah. And he brought it all the way back.
Very, very well played. And that will be the last match of this recording, as LCD against Nigeria has not happened yet. So let us go on over to the standings. Again, not perfectly accurate, but as of recording, Nigeria is leading the Mismagius division. Tristan is leading the Drifblim division. Manny leading Jellicent. I am leading the Gengar division. And Mitch leading Dust Noir.
Yeah, you like sitting pretty at 3-0.
I really do like sitting pretty at 3-0, especially since plus matters a huge amount. Being able to have a bunch of wins under your belt to separate you from the tier of people who are competing for playoff spots helps a lot.
I love that Dave is a plus 12, the highest plus by a pretty decent margin.
I love that as well. 2 +6s.
Yeah, that's kind of nutty. We see the on the very left, Nigeria and LCD, because they haven't happened yet. There's a lot of implication there.
Sure, Murphy could be leading the division if Nigeria loses.
Yeah, or Nigeria could be 3-0 plus who knows what. LCD's kind of needs to get back in the running.
LCD's got a scary team, so we'll see how that happens.
Yeah.
Let's look at trades and pickups. Let's start off with the obvious one. M1, due to his loss against Murphy, was forced to drop Melodic, and instead he picked up Quagsire, which it's a little funny because Quagsire is a very Murphy kind of mon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that was a pretty one-to-one trade.
I think they fulfill the same role. I think Quagsire basically just doesn't get flip turn, but also gets the ground type.
Yeah, and the water absorb too.
Oh, water absorb too.
Counter.
That's right.
Unaware even?
Yeah, I believe M1 is fighting the Dracovish team this week.
Oh, is he? That's actually, I think it's a really good pickup, though.
Yeah, that's sick. It actually worked out perfectly.
I mean, especially if you're not going to run Flavorb on Milotic, you're going to run leftovers. Like, you can run leftovers on Quagsire, too. That's, like, the good item for it,
For sure.
But, yeah, Quagsire's a great pickup here. I think it works really well with the Bulu Lando, even Kaparaja, too.
Mm-hmm.
Kaparaja eats those grass type attacks.
Oh, for
Quagsire
sure.
eats the fire types.
When I was talking with M1 about his pickups, he was a little trepidatious that he has 4 mons that have quad weaknesses, but they're quad weaknesses that are sort of spread out and also covered by other things, like Bulu being quad weak to poison. Well, that's covered by Quagsire and Lando. Quagsire being quad weak to grass, covered by Bulu. So I think he's still doing fine, especially without hidden power.
Yeah.
It's not that bad to have a bunch of quad weaknesses.
Yeah, his team supports Bulu actually really well. Like, I'm looking at a lot of resists of specifically poison.
Yeah. Let us look at Thomas. Thomas made 3 changes.
Is that the T-Bot?
That's the T-Bot. Thomas dropped Shaman for Poltegeist, G Slowking for Amoongus, and Kirim for Latias.
I like all of this. Dude, the Mudsdale Amoongus.
Oh, that's so insane.
And Megalodino? That's busted.
That's a busted core, yeah, you're right.
The wish passing into Mudsdale into Amoongus.
Oh no.
No.
Amoongus gets that regenerator, famously never dies.
Yeah, I think that these are great changes.
I like Kirim so much. I'm sad to see him go.
Yeah, I mean, did we see really anything at Kirim the first 2 weeks though? I feel like
we saw Scarf Kirim kind of get bodied against Bick.
Oh,
that was about it. Personally, I'm sad to see him go, but I still think Thomas has a great team.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe is a little bit weak to Ghost, picking up the Psychic Dragon, but he also has the normal type of Mega Audino, so it's not that great.
Yeah,
it's you've got to check for Ghosts essentially. On to our next trade and pickup, Mike. Mike dropped Florges for Gardevoir.
God damn it, Mike.
Hey, Gardevoir's a comfort mon for Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike is in a division with 2 sand teams, or is it just one sand team?
That's true. Tracing Sand Rush could be really cool.
Absolutely. So I like this pick a lot, and he's not forced to have his fairy type be a passive thing that can get walled or set up on, like Florges.
Wait, who do you get rid of for it?
Florges.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, that's sort of fine. He wasn't really going to use Florges that much anyway.
And now he has a stab psychic type, so I think that's a good change. I think Registeel combined with the general bulk of everything else, with Golurk, Golbat, Arctivish should not be slept on in terms of bulk, and Meganium with screen support. I think he's doing fine without the Wish.
It gives him more offense that isn't Cinderace Greninja.
Right.
Which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good trade pickup.
Our next one is Manny. So Manny dropped Carbink.
So wishy-washy.
Manny dropped Carbink, the mon he picked up last week. Dropped Carbink for Palisand and Tentacruel for Wishy-Washy.
Hey, man, that makes me really happy, actually. I brought back the Wishy-Washy.
I think Tentacruel does so well with Manny's team. I don't know if I would have made that change, because I think the combination of like Corviknight, Mega Altaria, and Tentacruel, they're all reasonably fast and very tanky. So I think that was a great core he had. I do understand him not liking all of the EQ weaknesses though.
Yeah. I mean, still, that was your only poison type too. So.
Right, no more grounded poison type. So hopefully he can dodge some T-spikes this season.
Yeah, no spinner on this team either.
Although Corviknight's a super strong Defogger, so I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
he...
and Altaria if you want to run that too.
Yeah, so I don't think he really has a problem with Toxic Spikes, actually.
No, for sure. I like the wishy-washy pickup. I like the fact that it put in work for Manny last season. He's like, you know what? We're just going to run it back. We're going to do it again.
It's so big, and then you just rest, and he's back.
Yeah.
Our last trade and pickup is Kyle. Kyle has dropped Slurpuff for Uxie and Exploud for Diancie.
Oh, interesting.
So I think the sort of issue I alluded to during his match of his fastest mon being Victini at base 100, that issue is still kind of there on his team. However, he now has 2 more strong rockers, which is good, I think. So he's not sort of forced to bring Gligar to rocks every single match.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Uxie is pretty much the same thing. It just walls things, it clicks rocks, clicks U-turn, hits maybe a damaging move,
right,
gets out of there. But yeah, it's interesting to me that Kyle, he says, okay, look, like I lost that game. He's not going to change anything about his main team comp. You know, like the Rillaboom, Victini, Toxic Packs are still the same. He goes for the lower tiers first, which I respect. I think, you know, not overhauling and panicking is a good thing.
Listen, if I had the core of Rillaboom, Victini, and Toxic Packs, he'd really have to twist my arm to get rid of one of those.
Yeah, you're right. I'm talking as if it isn't like the most busted core in the entire game.
So yeah, I hope he puts Uxie and Diancie to good work.
For sure.
Finally, we have the Commish Picks. I have Mike and Bick's picks already. That rhymed, so I'll flash them on screen. Let's run through the matches, Jim. So first we got me against Hunter. Like I said, I always vote for myself.
Yeah, that's a good habit to get into, I think.
Yeah, you got to have the confidence.
You're right.
So what do you think about this match? Who would you vote for right now? You put on the spot.
Sure, yeah, I'm still getting to the doc here. Who's you versus?
Me against Hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you got it.
Well, thank you.
I know you're gonna spend the time. I know you're gonna do the prep.
I'm gonna be in the lab.
Yeah.
Next up, Jack against James. I'm going to pick Jack.
I think I'm also gonna pick Jack.
Kyle against Dave, our guest commentator. I'm going to pick Dave, even though Mike and Vic both picked Kyle.
You know, I'm not totally sure. I think I'm leaning more toward Kyle. I think that Kyle after a loss is scary.
You think he's gonna spend his time under the waterfall and power up?
I think so.
Nice.
I think he's like, okay, yeah, that's not gonna happen again.
LCD against Tristan. I vote for LCD. Mike and Vic, or Mike voted for LCD as well. Vic voted for Tristan.
I think I'm gonna vote LCD. I'd like to see him get a win on the board. Obviously, Nigeria versus LCD hasn't happened yet, but
right. Next up, Murphy against Manny. All of us picked Murphy. So what do you think?
I'm going Manny.
You're going Manny?
I think Manny's got it.
Okay.
Dude, Manny sets. He just picked a wishy-washy. There's no way he's using that thing. Yeah, he's gonna use it versus Murphy.
All right. Dylan against Nigeria. I will be picking Dylan.
I think I'm also gonna pick Dylan.
All right. Mike picked Nigeria. Vic also picked Dylan. Now we've got M1 against Dan. Mike has picked M1. Vic has picked Dan. I am going to pick M1.
Then I will pick Dan.
All right. We've split it down the middle.
Yeah.
We have you against Vic. I have picked you. Mike has picked you as well, and Vic picked himself.
Yeah, no, I can't afford to do the Fortnite dances.
Oh, that's right. So talk us through this wager.
So it's if I beat Vic, he will renounce his terrible take on Fortress. He will take back everything bad he said about it. Vic, I'm going to ask you right now. I'd like a paragraph on why Fortress is a good Pokemon.
I'll make him say something on Inside the PFL.
Yes, that would be great. But if he wins, then I have to attempt to do a Fortnite dance.
You're just gonna
the
tack that
Fortnite
onto the
dance.
end of the video if you lose.
I was gonna just like record myself on a green screen and put myself on the victory screen of the Fortnite screen, but I think that's too much work for what it is. So who knows what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna have to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Why even consider what you're going to do? You're gonna win.
Exactly. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Next up, Mike against Thomas. It's been unanimous as a Mike pick so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Mike too. With the Gardevoir pick, he's comfy.
Mike's
He's
in his
settling
comfort
in.
zone, yeah. And last match, I mean, we've got Leibo against Mitch. I mean, Leibo's got the championship. Do we really need to? Like, Mitch's luck is gonna run out, right?
Dude, I'm gonna go for Mitch.
Oh my God, the
I'd
dissenter.
love for Mitch to start 4-0. I'm not part of this.
All right. Well, it is a Leibo pick from me, Mike, and Bick. So we'll see how that shapes up.
Yes.
And with those commish picks, there's only one item left on the docket. Jim, is
Yes.
this the most important week of the season?
Yeah, easily. My dignity is on the line.
For you especially, the most important week of the season.
But of course, I mean, these matches are insane. This is the difference between, oh, you're 0-4, or oh, you're 4-0. You know, the stakes have never been higher. It's Conference Cup week, as always.
That's
the fights
right.
within the divisions, they're getting closer.
It is a
I'd say
huge
it would have
Conference
to be.
Cup week.
Yeah.
This is the turning point of the season. This is when you need
Yeah.
to decide whether or not you're buckling down and you're going to pull your way out of, one of those bottom tier spots into a playoff spot, or whether or not you're going to remain at the top.
Yep. You're right before the bye weeks. You get more time to like think on your team and your decisions if you have week 5 off.
That's right.
I think so. I think you're right.
Any closing thoughts before we sign off?
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me on such short notice.
Of course.
That will conclude the week 3 inside the PFL. Thank you all for watching and have a
Yes.
good night.
Peace out, y'all.